And welcome to Mornings with Luann and Tim on Bum Slide Thursday. Even better this week because it's the last day of the week.
I know.
Isn't that awesome?
No, does anybody work on Good Friday?
I don't think so. It's a stat.
What about like 7-Elevens? Do we have 7-Elevens anymore? What are they called? Mike Smarts or
7-Elevens?
Circle K's?
Wow.
7-Elevens.
Oh my word! Was there ever a 7-Eleven in the
Savory?
You're thinking of your days in Toronto and traveling.
I guess so. Did we never have a 7-Eleven?
I don't think we ever did.
That's kind of funny,
isn't it?
I mean, we had Mike Smart, which became Max Smart. Remember those?
Mike's and Max and Max and Pinto. Do you remember Pinto?
Oh my gosh, Pinto!
I managed a Pinto store in Espanola for about a year or so.
That's flashback, man. Oof. Flashback Thursday.
Yeah, seriously. It keeps me up at night with those flashbacks.
Okay. They have Circle K's now too, right?
Yes, and they're awesome. Man, those stores, right? You can stop and get anything that you need. It's so awesome. We want to say thank you to 4:45 if you've got nothing to do on Saturday morning because you had the day off on Friday. Starts everything at $5 on Saturday at 4:45, which is on Ashman Street in Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan. They're sponsoring our show, and we want you to go and check them out.
We have one of our staff members here swears by that place.
It was only $5. It was only $5.
Better comes back. This was only a quarter.
It was only $5. And then what happens is after Saturday, with each day, it goes down.
When it doesn't sell, the prices go down to a quarter
to $5.
It's crazy.
It's a nice idea.
The stuff that he gets.
Oh my word! Something's like it's $100, $5, $5, Lou, $5.
I got a computer for a nickel. Hey, they had an earthquake in Taiwan. It was 6.1, I think, on the Richter scale. It was
big enough.
It was a big one.
Yeah.
But I looked at it on Twitter, and there's people. So imagine a 6.1 earthquake. The building is moving, and all the light fixtures in your office are swinging,
and the streets are going like this.
And what are they doing? They're sitting at their office desks with their cell phones in Taiwan, recording the earthquake. It was like what? I would so be under my desk.
I would be under the desk.
I'd be in the door frame. You know when they say get in the door frame during an earthquake?
I'd find a bathtub somewhere.
Honestly, just sitting there like, oh, look, it's a 6.1.
It's a regular thing, you know?
Oh my gosh, did that happen?
Look at that.
Is that a result of this earthquake?
Yeah.
I would
imagine that.
I'm telling you, Luann, and they're sitting at their desks.
That looks like a giant could just come over and pishnuck the thing and it would go right.
Now, this was also, here's what's interesting. Today, 1906.
When?
Today.
I think
in 1906, this is the anniversary of the San Francisco earthquake.
Oh, that was big.
7.9. It killed nearly 4,000 people and destroyed 75% of San Francisco.
I knew that the city was
annihilated. Fire too.
Yeah, everything happened. What year was that?
Look at that picture. 1906. So how many years?
Don't ask me the hard stuff.
113 years ago. Wow.
Imagine, especially, now we build buildings a lot better, obviously, but more sturdy and stuff. In those days, it was all wood and...
Yeah, you're right.
Right?
Lots of fire.
Yikes.
Wow. Speaking of the fire, you talk about in the news, that guy was in New York?
Copycat people are ridiculous in my mind. Why do we never hear about copycat incidents? Because someone else did something good.
Well, that's past. Pay it forward.
Yes. You know how we talked about, of course, Notre Dame in Paris burned and it lost a lot of the artifacts there, and it was such a sad situation. Well, police in New Jersey last night.
New York.
Found somebody who was in the cathedral there.
St. Patrick's. It's one of the most famous cathedrals.
Huge.
I was in that cathedral.
Were you really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm. It's amazing.
Did the roof fall down on you?
No, it did not. But I almost got struck by lightning.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I don't do well in churches.
Is that the guy? Yeah.
He looks
the security guard stops this guy and says, what can I do for you? And the guy's carrying 2 huge cans of gasoline and some lighter fluid and those extended clip lighters, And he goes, I'm just visiting. Well, you can't come in here with that stuff.
I'm taking a shortcut.
Yeah, so they found him anyway.
Can you imagine?
And he said, "Yeah, well, you know what? I'm just sort of
I wanted to burn down a church. Unreal.
Like, pay it forward, buddy, instead.
Yeah.
Put that gas in somebody's car. Right? It's so expensive. Just take some random car, throw the gas in there.
There you go.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah.
No. Got to try to burn down just so I could be like the other guy. Seriously. Oh,
okay, you know what I read in Ontario news? I didn't know about this. I missed this part. It's in the Ford budget that he really does want to bring back, open more, have beer in corner stores and big box stores.
Yeah.
I had no idea that was part of. I guess it was a platform because I kind of missed the platform.
Well, he never had a platform.
I kind of missed it,
and he's sort of playing it by ear.
So now. Did they have a contract? The beer store has you know all this. I just learned this. The beer store has a contract with did you talk about this in the news too?
Probably a week and a half ago.
Lou,
I'm so proud of you.
Millions of dollars in fines.
Yeah.
If they can only open 450 new outlets, and if they open more than that, selling beer, millions of dollars in fines, we have to pay it.
So, and you know what?
Smarten up.
There's the control, right?
He wants
government
this booze
control.
so badly.
We're going to do this because I think it's an awesome idea because I came up with it. But we're only going to do this many, and if you go against us and try to put one up that we don't legislate, we're going to get you.
And Vic Fideli says, the word is out that, there's hush talks going on now between the beer store and the government to see if they can work this out because he wants that to be 11,000 new vendors. If he gives it to convenience stores and
the beer stores are like, are you what?
People get laid off if you don't have to go to the beer store anymore. So they're in hush talks, hush from the government of transparency.
Yeah, he's so
and Vic Fideli.
Oh my
Vic Fideli says, "Oh no, we'll be holding a bunch of consultations over the summer." How many times have we heard that? I've spoken to hundreds of teachers, and they all like my.
And you know what? They all think my ideas are great, including the ones who were announced in Peel region yesterday. More than 630 full-time teachers are going to lose their jobs.
125 in Sault Ste. Marie got pink slipped.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, awesome.
But I've spoken to hundreds of teachers, and they all support this.
Yeah, and you know what? He said when he was making this big announcement initially, if you recall, you know what? Nobody's going to intentionally lose their job because it's going to go through attrition, and people who retire will be encouraged to be packaged out and that sort of thing. So 630 and bigger classrooms, more kids, and autism and special care needs have been cut back financially, so they'll be in the schools. Those poor children, the students are going to be lost in. Teachers are going to have to sit there and be truant officers and wardens, and they're not going to teach. They're just going to make sure everybody doesn't beat each other up because there's so many of them. Seriously, that's what's going to happen.
That was Lou Ann's role as a mother. No, probably as a sister. How many kids did you have? Oh no,
3.
No, somebody else.
My sister's older, and I was so easy on her.
Wait, no, but who had the big family in your family? Didn't you have
my dad?
Yeah.
My dad was the baby of 9. So I have 33 or 36 first cousins that I grew up with.
Don't speak ill of Lou Ann in Espanola because she's related to everyone.
And I will hear.
Yeah.
And I will find you.
She will hear back.
I have connections in Espanola. I do. And you know what? With all those kids, with all those people, 33 or 36, there was never a fight. There was never an argument. You can get along.
It's because your mother had a whip.
Yeah.
Oh, your grandmother.
Or lock the door. Go play outside. Click.
You French Canadians, you have a lot of babies.
Yes. Catholic French Canadians especially.
Well, either Catholic or stupid.
You love children, don't you?
I do. I love them as long as they're in the trunk of a car. No, I'm terrible. That's what I do in restaurants. It's like, I'm not a parent. I would never do that to a child. I'm joking. I'm just saying. Sometimes I'm in a restaurant and a kid will start acting up at another table and I turn to Keith and I'll say, this is the point where that child will be in the trunk of a car.
You know what? But that's parenting. That's not the kid.
I mean, I wouldn't put a kid in the trunk of a car.
Well, no, of course you wouldn't.
Just the back seat.
But you know what?
Really
I have done that with children. If they get too rowdy, out you go. We're going home. Forget it.
Not in the trunk of the car.
No, honey. The trunk of the car, because then eventually they will speak and tell on you. I can guarantee those kids are going to squeal on you. Hello, police.
Hey, we had a friend come visit Sault Ste. Marie. Adam Proulx was in town recently. Adam Proulx is one of the many extremely talented youth in Sault Ste. Marie who've gone on to professional careers in the arts. And he stopped by for a visit, so we've got that for an interview today. And then, it's spring. Finally, we get to have Susan Richards back from New North Greenhouse.
Oh, it's about time.
Yay, we can talk about spring and gardening and planting and events coming up.
I hope Jim's watching.
And you have the news, all that and more. So stay with us, please, on this Thursday morning on... What is the
Mornings
show?
with Luann and Tim.
Thanks for that.
You're Tim.
Yeah, that's right. We'll see you in a minute.
At 4:45, discover all kinds of treasures and never pay more than $5. Inventory is restocked every Saturday, and you can find anything from electronics to household items, toys, and much, much more. On Saturday, everything is $5, and the price goes down throughout the week, ending with 25 cents on Friday. We restock weekly with new items from various big box stores, so you never know what treasures you can find. Come visit us at 4:45, 2510 Ashman Street in Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan.
Welcome back to Mornings with Luann and Tim, and I'm joined now in the studio by Adam Francis Proulx. How the heck are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing good. Hecka good, thank you.
Welcome home.
Thank you.
Adam, you grew up in Sault Ste. Marie doing theater from what age?
I say 6, Mom says 7. So 6.
Why is there a dispute between you and your mother about that?
Well, I was 6 and I don't remember much, I think.
Well, who was your first show directed by?
Susan Barber.
Susan Barber!
You were in it, I think. It was Fiddler on the Roof.
I was. I had just come home from Puerto Rico, and Judy Holmes was choreographing it, and so I came to start watching rehearsals because Susie had never been a director when I left town.
No, that was her first one.
Theater happened to her later after I left town. So I came back and she's directing a show, and there's Judy, and I just started watching rehearsals, and then Judy said, "Did you want to help me with the choreography? Like maybe you could help teach it, kind of stuff." So I kind of became Judy's assistant. And then they needed another guy in the show for like the Russian fight scene or something. So I played a really mean Russian guard. You don't remember? You were 6.
I was 6. But that's a good way to end up in a Susan Barber show, is just be in the room. Right? Be there.
A great way to end up in community theater is to be a man.
Yeah, got a pulse.
Got a penis, you're in the show. Absolutely. Do you even know how many shows you did, Adam, while you were in town?
Well, I was here. I'd be guessing, but I don't know, 15 plus maybe?
Yeah. So it's community theater, you've worked with all the different groups, haven't you?
I can't think of any.
And theater SMC.
Yeah.
You studied at St. Mary's?
I studied at St. Mary's. I started doing theater SMC shows when I was 10, right? And then I did a show with them in grade 9. I did Working.
When you were little too?
Yeah, it was like me and Dr. Jeff Janusitis and Katie Antler.
See, these people who've gone on to other careers,
I know.
Okay.
He did it right.
Jeff, he's a dog. That's like, there's so many.
Doing?
I don't know. Anyway, so Joe Lozon.
Yeah.
He was a mentor.
He was definitely a mentor.
And Maria Burgess was a producer and teacher, mentor.
Yeah. She's my there's a word in Italian, but she was my confirmation sponsor. Like Comare or something.
Comare, yeah, that's it.
Kombucha or something.
Yeah, it's basically, if your parents die, she takes you over.
Yeah.
She'll take care of them.
Yeah.
Okay, so then, post-second, you leave St. Mary's College, and what did you decide to do?
Immediately, I think 2 weeks after graduation, I got on a plane and I went and worked at Walt Disney World for a year.
You did?
I did.
Did you go back time and again? Though? I went back to Disneyland, Disney World.
Disney World, yeah. So I went. I did 2 contracts at Disney World, but then there's just this weird thing. You put energy into the universe, and then it kept drawing me back. Because then I ended up at the Kennedy Space Center too, right out of university, doing another show there, doing a Star Trek show. Yeah.
Did you play a character?
You could scour the internet if you want and see if you could find pictures of me as a Vulcan.
Really?
Well, and I was in Florida in the middle of the summer, and I was there for 8 months, and so I ended up being the darkest Vulcan, just so dark.
Your mother's Italian blood came through.
Yeah, I eventually was buying. I had to cover up my eyebrows. I was eventually buying from the women of color section of the drugstore. Yeah.
So then, okay, and your training ground really was community theater, wasn't it?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So then, okay, so you finish in Florida. Then what happens?
Oh, it's good. Then I finished in Florida, and then I went to university. I went to the University of Waterloo. I have a business degree and a theater performance degree from there.
Did your business degree have anything to do with theater administration, or was it just a straight business degree?
So they've got an interesting program there called Honors Arts and Business, and with the Honors Arts and Business program, which I would suggest to anyone who likes that, I think with the theater performance aspect, I was a graduating class of 1. So
really,
but it's what's great about it is you've got your arts and business degree, and then you have to choose a double major in your art. It can be economics if you want, but mine was theater and performance. Mm-hmm. So now I have this sort of combined. So yeah, there's the arts administration, and I didn't do them, but they have specializations in sort of arts admin and cultural management and stuff like that too.
Do you ever see yourself maybe taking over a theater? Like we have friends who run theaters, the Davids, we call them. Yeah. David Rogers and David Hogan. Yeah. Down there at
Petrolia.
Petrolia, which is called it's
Victoria Playhouse. Petrolia. Yeah.
You've worked there previously?
I've worked there. So this will be my 8th. I mean, not my 8th in a row. I shouldn't say that. I've been working with them for 8 years.
Are you serious? It's been that many?
It's been that many.
They were Sarnia originally, and then at the Capitol, and then they moved to Petrolia.
Yeah, and then they moved down the road to Petrolia, just about 25 minutes down the road. And so it's this great theater. The great thing about the Petrolia Theater is it burnt down 30 years ago. So
that's the great thing about it?
Because, stay with me, because they rebuilt it, and it's this amazing theater that is much nicer than it had originally. Yeah, than it ought to be, because it's just the best
money.
Great insurance money home. No, but it's great. And so I've been there. I was there as a performer 8 years ago, and then 4 years ago, I guess, I went there as a stage manager, which was a surprise. Yeah. And then I've been there. This will be my 3rd full-time year as assistant artistic director there.
We don't have in Northern Ontario what they have in Southern Ontario, summer stock theater.
No.
We don't have those companies. No. Port Dover, where else, Adam? There's so many. Yeah, Grand Bend. Yeah. Drayton itself has so
bunch
many
of theaters.
So this is theater companies that operate from usually April until October, sort of, in that time frame, even less for some. Yep. And they do a range of Canadian stuff, musicals, two-handers, Yep. We don't have that in Northern Ontario.
No, it's kind of the opposite, right? It's the September through April thing. With the professional theaters we have in Northern Ontario, like Sudbury Theatre Centre and Magnus,
and Magnus and Thunder Bay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but my point though was, and we have another friend, Alex Moustakis, who has taken over Drayton, which is now a conglomerate. I believe that Drayton...
He started Drayton, too.
He started it, and I believe that it is now the 2nd largest employer of Canadian Actors Equity members after Stratford Festival, if I'm not mistaken. It's the 2nd largest. He and I were working, Alex and I were working together just before he went to study at the London School of Economics in England.
Right.
And I said, why are you going to study economics? You're an actor, singer, dancer, Charlottetown Festival. What are you doing? Yeah. No, I want to go into administration. I never could figure out why. And now look at him.
Well, yes.
Running like 8 theater companies and cruise ships. And
it's
is that
amazing.
Something you would ever want to do?
Oh, for sure. And I think that's sort of the path that I've fallen into over the last few years, largely because of our friends, the Davids, David Rogers and David Hogan. Yeah. They kind of brought me in as their assistant artistic director, and so a lot of the tasks that I've been tasked with are sort of that type of thing.
Of that ilk.
If you will. And they're actually selling a lot of their shows to Drayton now. So, and then we're going to Collingwood with some of the shows.
Because they create all these great things, like they did the Beatles one, and so like eras. They pick eras and they do.
Yeah, we're doing a 1969 one this summer, and what else?
You did a Sinatra one, didn't you?
That's how I started the Sinatra one. Super fun.
So many years with the guys down at Proulx.
Yeah.
But Adam, there's a whole other side to your career that came out of the blue.
Yeah.
You were doing the show.
Literally. Blue.
The show that started you working with puppets was?
Avenue Q.
Avenue Q in Toronto. Bathurst Street Theatre?
Lower Ossington Theatre.
Lower Ossington, okay.
Yeah.
So.
Little West.
A little bit. And so all of a sudden you become this guy who's working with puppets and doing voices and characters because that's required of the show.
Yeah. For sure.
Next step was what?
Well, then I would say that also my Disney training helped.
Oh, you had some puppeteering before?
A little bit, yeah. Mostly the full body stuff, but there's a lot of crossover there, right? So when the auditions for Avenue Q came around, I think that gave me a bit of a leg up. And then I did Avenue Q. I met a lot of great people, including Mike Peterson, who is the puppetry coach, puppetry director. He's from Fraggle Rock and Labyrinth and Toopy and Beanu from Zoom and stuff like that.
Holy smokes!
Yeah, Mike's been a huge mentor to me. And so then when I decided to write this show, which is called Baker's Dozen, 12 Angry Puppets,
which you performed locally a couple of times.
About 40,000 times I've performed it here. It's when I started writing that, I just wanted to write a show for Fringe. I wanted to travel and I wanted to tour and I wanted to go around. And so I thought, okay, I'll start writing a show. But like, as you may not be able to tell right now, I'm quite shy. So I hated the idea of going to a Fringe festival. There's me. Of going to sweaty me. Going to a Fringe festival and flyering to people and saying, come see my skit. That sounded so awful. But I thought I could do that with a puppet.
Right.
So my business degree kicked in and I thought, great, I'll write a show with a puppet.
Okay, so the show has been everywhere.
Yeah.
And now you just came back from frickin' Australia.
Australia.
Because you put together a grant proposal to go and study.
Yes.
Who'd you study with?
So it's thanks to the Ontario Arts Council. They had a program which has been sort of absorbed into other programs now, but it's called the International Residency Program. So I did an artist residency with Trash Puppets and the Puppet Smithery, run by Jess Knight, who studied that at the London School of Puppetry. And the Puppet Smithery is sort of her company, so largely I was working with her with that. And then their sister company is Trash Puppets. And Trash Puppets is super cool. What they do is it's got an environmental sustainability bent to it, where they teach people to make puppets out of recycled materials.
Isn't that brilliant?
It's great. And do you know what? I saw one of their workshops while I was there in somewhere, and we went to do the workshop, and these kids, they're young little tiny humans, and they dump the garbage on the ground and they teach them to make puppets. They teach them about environmental sustainability, and then these kids make these amazing things that we could never think of ourselves.
You need to do that here.
I did one last week in Kitchener.
There you go. You see, this is the thing that I respect about you so much, is that you have such a drive. You never stop. And that's why I believe that you've reached a success. You can't be in this business, Adam, if you sit still. And you have, I mean, there's no moss gathering on you. And also, I love you for the fact that you come home and give back. Right now, you're working with Anthony Accetti at Superior Heights.
Yeah, they're doing Mamma Mia.
And you're helping out with some interesting, I don't even want to give it away, really.
No, I mean,
but there's some interesting twists that you're bringing into that production that are probably never been done before in a production of Mamma Mia.
I can almost guarantee it, that they've never been done before.
Do you know the performers? I'm going to get them on the show to talk about it. Do you know the dates for Mamma Mia?
I don't know the dates, but they do want to come to the show. I talked to them.
Okay, great. They're going to come on the show?
They're going to come on the show.
Our time is up.
Oh, okay.
So, get lost. Adam Proulx, I want everyone to understand that you are just one fine example of some of the amazing talent that's come from this city that's gone on to do incredible things. So proud of you.
Thank you, Tim.
Love you very much.
Love you too.
Okay, and we'll be back with more Mornings with Luann and Tim, and thanks to Adam Proulx.
Thank you.
See you in a minute.
Thousands of people across the country take part in the Canadian Cancer Society's Relay for Life. So join the Relay for Life, and together, let's make a difference.
Hey Mel, did you know in Queensgate, Australia, it's illegal to own a pet rabbit unless you can prove you're a magician?
Really? Did you know that if you're at the McMeekin Arena, you're only 9 minutes and 54 seconds away from Maitland Fort Lincoln?
It's closer than you think.
Coming to get you, Barbara.
Listen to them. Children of the night. It's alive! It's alive!
This is ONNtv.
That Adam Proulx is adorable. He's just such a nice guy. I'm going to go down this summer and visit him down.
Good.
Yeah, down in where he's doing the show. Well, he's working at the theater down there. So
That's terrific.
I've never
He's
been
such a
there
nice
before.
guy.
To what's it called? Where they make the oil. Starts with the P. I forget. Anyway, where the Proulx?
I forgot that the oil place is called Proulx.
I did.
Wow.
Anyway, that's where he's working. And
Get
I'm
a
gonna go
map
visit then.
before you go and make a big red circle around it.
Okay.
You don't want to be on the road going, where am I going?
Where's the place with the oil?
Yeah.
And I
You know
ended
how
up doing
earlier
that.
we were talking about how 4:45, which is on Ashman Street in Sioux, Michigan,
Nice.
a store there, is sponsoring the morning show, and we're so thrilled to have them. We were talking about how our producer, Mike, loves to go there. Goes every Saturday religiously, stands in line, gets all kinds of, and it's only $5, remember? Only $5, Lou. Audrey, our camera person, was telling me a story how in the sort of technical area, she said what we should do is bring in a mattress, a blow-up mattress, and just take everything out of here and have a little sleep area, you know, joking around and stuff. And Mike says, I got a mattress, a king size, $5.
He comes in, and he brings these rubber masks. Did we tell the story already?
Oh my word! He actually bought 2 full-size dinosaur costumes.
He thought it would be fun for us.
$5, Lou.
He thought it'd be fun for us. I bought them because I thought it'd be fun for you guys to wear them and do this morning show. In a dinosaur costume? But it was only $5.
Oh.
Then he has a horse head.
And he bought a horse head and then a chicken head. And
that chicken head, actually, that chicken head reminds. See, that was a nice segue. Do you have more though?
No, I'm good.
Oh, my segue is about actually dinosaurs and chicken heads because this is the thing. It is Velociraptor Awareness Day.
Velociraptor?
That's a velociraptor.
Oh.
But
Jurassic Park, I know.
Yes, okay, they were velociraptors in Jurassic Park, but he made them way too big. Real velociraptors, see, Velox, okay, that means swift.
Okay, so they're
Raptor
quick.
means robber or plunderer. They're fast little robbers. So they're bird-like. They were like the size of turkeys, big, medium-sized turkeys. They're small turkeys, and they weighed they could weigh up to 33 pounds. They couldn't fly, and they traveled in packs, and they'd go and attack.
That's scary. Like a gang. Do they have tattoos?
Small animals.
Do they wear colors?
Reptiles and amphibians they would eat. Isn't that wild? They found their bones and stuff in the outer Mongolian Gobi Desert.
Eee.
And they would, like, imagine, like a little pack of
that's even scarier, right?
I know. And I was like, so they were like, turkeys? And Kevin is like, well, Tim, yes. Like, birds are basically dinosaurs. I said, what do you mean birds? Birds, and this is a quote, birds are just little tiny dinosaurs with feathers.
Really? According to Kevin.
According to Kevin. Because they're just, the birds have been around forever. And he said, so basically dinosaurs that kind of had feathers, it turned into birds.
Oh.
And then could learn to fly. So probably there are little velociraptors flying around right now, Luann.
We have theories just flying all over the place this morning for you.
So happy Velociraptor Appreciation Day.
I'm so proud that you can even say that. Velociraptor.
I didn't even know it was a thing until half an hour ago, and now I say it and it rolls off my tongue. Velociraptor.
Velociraptor.
You have the news next?
I have the news next, so please stay tuned to Mornings with Luann and Tim. We'll be back.
I need a new phone. What do you use your phone for mostly? Work, play.
Oh, you mean everything.
One that won't run out of battery when Joyce from accounting is doing the Running Man.
Who else wants to see that Running Man demo?
The Samsung Galaxy Note 9. It's a great phone with a powerful all-day battery. We got the best phone for you for a great price. And you can choose your carrier.
A little Running Man?
Just a little. There. Nice. I hope no one saw that.
Whew. Where was she when I went phone shopping?
Have a great business idea but don't know where to start? Need help taking your business to the next level? C2C Business Services can be your guide in navigating the path of entrepreneurship, with services ranging from grant funding support, access to service experts, market information, and helping your business adopt new technologies to create and foster a culture of innovation for ongoing success. Call C2C Business Services and let them be your first step in taking your entrepreneurial dreams from concept to commerce. C2C Business Services is a division of the Sault Ste. Marie Innovation Center.
Drop by one of our 3 Sault Ste. Marie locations. You do life, we do taxes.
Police announced yesterday that 2 people have now been arrested after a string of anonymous threats to schools in Thunder Bay. Police received at least 13 threats to schools between mid-February and mid-April, most targeting Hammarskjold High School. In 11 of those cases, the alleged threat led to a school closure, with nearby schools often temporarily placed in a hold and secure just in case. The other 2 led to an actual lockdown or hold and secure at the target school. The problem got so bad that the board started posting schoolwork online so students wouldn't fall behind because of the disruption. Thunder Bay Police declined to give any information about the accused and did not say what charges they may face, but police noted that the investigation is ongoing. Police have said the alleged threats came in through the Crime Stoppers tip system and involved warnings about suspicious packages and schools shooting. Some people urged investigators to view the threats as a hoax, but officers said they had to treat each seriously as a precaution. The Honourable Chrystia Freeland will be in Sault Ste. Marie today to discuss the unjust and illegal tariffs on Canadian steel and aluminum and the benefits of the new NAFTA. A press release from MP Terry Sheen indicates that the minister will highlight funding for the Sault Airport's airside power generation system at 11:30 this morning at the airport, and will also visit Algoma Steel later on this afternoon.
The Attorney General appears to be waging a media campaign on behalf of President Trump.
Yesterday, U.S. House Judiciary Committee Chairman Gerald Nadler said Attorney General William Barr is taking unprecedented steps to spin Special Counsel Robert Mueller's Russia investigation.
Rather than letting the facts of the report speak for themselves, the Attorney General has taken unprecedented steps to spin Mueller's nearly 2-year investigation. 1. He summarized the report and cherry-picked findings in his March 24th letter to Congress. 2. He withheld summaries written by the special counsel that were intended for public consumption. 3. He has briefed the White House on the report before providing Congress a copy, which has helped them prepare a rebuttal response for the President. And now, the evening before the report's scheduled release, the Department of Justice has informed the committee that it will receive a copy between 11 a.m. and noon, well after the Attorney General's 9:30 a.m. press conference.
Alberta's incoming premier says a law to repeal the province's carbon tax and another that will cut business taxes will be the first steps his government will take once in power. Jason Kenney has set April 30th for when he and his cabinet will be sworn in.
Work has already begun in planning to implement the agenda which Albertans endorsed yesterday. So Bill number 1 in that legislature session will be the Carbon Tax Repeal Act. Bill number 2 will be the Open for Business Act. We will also pass the first installment of the job creation tax cut in that first session of the legislature, part of a plan that will create at least 55,000 new full-time private sector jobs.
The individual returns to that minivan, takes out two 2-gallon cans of gasoline, a plastic bag containing 2 bottles of lighter fluid, the type of which you would use to light a charcoal grill or a barbecue, 2 extended lighters, butane lighters controlled by a trigger, and enters St. Patrick's Cathedral.
According to the New York Police Department, just days after flames ravaged the Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris, a New Jersey man was arrested last night after entering St. Patrick's Cathedral carrying 2 cans of gasoline, lighter fluid, and butane lighters.
As he enters the cathedral, he's confronted by a cathedral security officer who asks him where he's going, informs him he can't proceed into the cathedral carrying these things. At that point, some gasoline apparently is spilled out onto the floor. The St. Patrick's employee notifies 2 CRC, Critical Response Command, from the Counterterrorism Bureau, police officers from our Stryker team who are outside, that the individual went south on 5th Avenue and onto 50th Street. They catch up to the individual who's carrying the gas cans and begin to question him.
Housed in a 15,000 square foot custom manufacturing facility built to produce world-class cabinetry at surprisingly affordable prices, Great Lakes Fine Cabinetry brings your project from initial concept to final design. Proudly providing Northern Michigan and the Algoma region with quality hand-built cabinetry for the past 20 years. Located at 844 East 3 Mile Road, Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan, Great Lakes Fine Cabinetry, making your cabinetry dreams come true.
You know, the top 100 most influential list from Time Magazine has been published.
Top 100 most influential in what?
In general, influential people.
People?
Yes. Yes.
Did I make the list?
Yeah.
I'm 101. Just missed
They're
it.
not talking age.
Oh.
So what happened is, on the list is Lady Gaga. Like, seriously, big surprise, right? Most influential. And then what they do is they have a counterpart sometimes write an essay about one of the most influential people. So Lady Gaga, Celine Dion wrote an essay about Lady Gaga and said that she is she is one of the most inventive artists she's ever seen.
She is one of the most inventive artists I have ever seen.
You're going to have so many bruises there.
If I ever have a heart attack, I want Celine Dion around because she can get me going again.
Can I do it?
Like nobody I know.
But you know what? Like, you think about Lady Gaga, Tony Bennett, like, seriously, Mr. Crooner Man, said to her, you know what? The way to last in this business is to be diverse.
Yes.
So she went from this lady showing up in an egg at the Oscars with this wild makeup and crazy outfits to doing a whole album with Tony Bennett, and that's when I figured out she can really actually sing.
Wow. Okay.
Amazing. Crazy. She just did a part in
Academy Award nominee.
Right?
Golden Globe winner, no?
Yes, yes.
And now Vegas, two shows
because
the
she's,
piano lounge version
a
and
little
the big...
bit of an underachiever. But imagine, so Celine Dion said, like Celine Dion, all she does is sing.
So she wrote the essay.
She wrote the essay talking about how she thinks that Lady Gaga is all that. And I think she's right. Right?
Was there anybody else on that list that we should know about?
You know who else was on?
I'm glad I asked.
Michelle Obama.
Well, yes.
Right? And Beyonce wrote an essay about Michelle Obama. It was between Michelle and I. And Beyonce said, oh, I'm so torn. Lou or Michelle or Michelle or Lou. So Beyonce went with Michelle.
Yeah.
I'm not going to talk to her for a bit because I'm kind of mad.
What's her nickname? Beyonce?
B. The beehive is a buzzing.
Yeah.
She said that Michelle Obama is a beacon of hope, and she is very excited that her children have someone to look up to in this age of division and controversy. And she said the first Black American First Lady could not have been a better choice, more effective, and she was just Gaga, not Lady, but she was Gaga over Michelle, not Celine. Celine was Gaga over Gaga.
But no one
Beyonce was
no one wanted to write an essay about Melania?
No Melania.
No Melania on the list of the most...
No.
Oh, that's too bad.
No. Most influential.
Yes. I don't care, do you?
No.
That's her.
Yeah. I don't care, do you?
So, guess what?
What?
The snow is melting. Spring is in the air. And New North Greenhouses is finally opening up.
We were so happy to see Susan Richards this morning because we know.
Oh, this is truly a sign of spring. Susan's going to tell us all about what's going on at New North next weekend and for their Hello Spring event, and lots of tips for you. Coming up next on Mornings with Luann and Tim.
With 3 brands to choose from Kawasaki, Suzuki, and CF Moto, visit one of our 4 showrooms today and speak with our knowledgeable, friendly, and enthusiastic staff who will be happy to help you with all of your motorsports needs.
Enjoy life, enjoy the ride, Bud Robinson Motorsports.
Recently, the Government of Ontario established a $100 million affordability fund to help Ontarians who don't qualify for low-income conservation programs ease the burden of their electricity bill. Whether you rent or own your home, as long as you pay your electric bill, you could qualify. There are 3 levels of support available. The first is a home energy kit with upgrades like smart power bars and LED light bulbs. The second includes Energy Star appliances that help keep things cool during the hot summer months. The third is for electrically heated homes so that your power bills don't break the bank during those long Canadian winters. Plus, all upgrades, including installation, are completely free of charge. Visit affordabilityfund.org or call 1-855-494-FUND to find out if you qualify.
Happy spring, Susan Richards.
Oh, thank you. It's so nice to be here.
Welcome back. It's been a whole season.
It has been.
We had you in the fall, and now it's so okay. Hello, spring is the event.
Yes,
it's the grand opening.
Yes, it's. We always plan an opening event to get people excited about spring, and of course, we're excited about spring.
What a winter we've had.
So it's a celebration of the local gardening community. So we invite different gardening organizations. The Sault Horticultural Society will be there. Master gardeners. The new local food initiative.
Oh,
Algoma.
The Algoma.
Yeah.
They're located in the old Croatian church.
Yes, thank you very much.
Yeah.
So those are going to be there. Yes, that's right. They're going to be there, and then we have music, and we have children's.
Music.
Yep. Roman Peridin is always our musician, and this year his wife is joining him, not as a musician.
Is Roman the one that plays the guitar?
Yes, he is.
He's amazing.
He's amazing, yeah. And
classical guitarist.
Yeah, and his
wife is joining?
Well, what she's going to do is a session with the kids. So she's going to read the story, The Very Hungry Caterpillar, and then Roman's going to provide some music, and then they're going to do a little craft, a little learning session and a craft about caterpillars and how they are part of the environment. So there's
cool.
2 sessions, one at 11 and one at 1.
Okay.
But Roman plays music throughout the event. Yep. Lots of kids' activities.
Any charge for this?
No charge for the event.
This is all free? Bring the family out and wander around?
The only thing that has a cost to it, there's face painting all day, and for a loonie only. You can donate a loonie, and that money goes to local community gardens, and then the face painting will happen. So, a loonie's not much to donate.
No, not for that, for a great cause.
That's right. New this year, we have a young fellow doing balloons from 11 to 1.
Balloon art, right?
Yeah, balloon art. Yeah, and the art gallery will be there. They're going to do a little kids art activity.
Art activity for kids from the art gallery, because they do some stuff. They've been doing some really cool stuff with getting people to create floral displays and stuff to match the paintings. That was something that they did recently.
No, it's coming up. It's the day before the Art and Bloom, and that's
Art and Bloom.
That's right. It's the day before our event.
And that's an annual thing that they're doing.
Yeah, I think it's the 3rd or 4th year that they've done that.
So somebody picks a painting, and then they have to do a representation of that painting using flowers and stuff, right?
Yeah.
You have a floral designer that you work with out there.
Well, it's
what's his title?
Trevor Fielder is a local floral designer, but he also helps us. He's been helping us for years, I think 20 years.
Really?
Set up our displays. So he has a lot of input into how, when you walk into the garden center and you're just wowed by what's going on between the decor, the trees and shrubs, the set out of the gardens and everything. And Trevor helps lead our team on that.
That walk, when you first walk in the doors of the main greenhouse, where and when all the fountains and
that's right.
That whole row there blows me away. I love it.
And that's what we aim to do, of course. We want to inspire people in this early in the spring, no matter what the weather is like outside. When you walk in the door, it's spring in the greenhouse.
I love that.
Yeah.
I was looking at this picture, Susan, the tower of, what do you call that?
Those were wave petunias.
So I said, how do you get the wave petunias to grow so high? And you said it was Trevor's idea.
Yeah, that's right. We built a chicken wire tube frame and put it in a big planter.
Right.
Then we planted through the chicken wire and at the top and at the base, and we had this beautiful flower tower. It was on casters.
Amazing.
So we moved it around. Yeah, it was
great ideas.
Yeah, Trevor always has great ideas.
So the event is on the Saturday,
April 27th.
April 27th.
10 until 3.
And there's stuff going on the entire time.
That's right. Yeah, and new this year.
What else?
We have the people from Tarantora Sports Club manning the M&M Food Market grill. So they're going to be selling hot dogs, hamburgers, beverages, and they're using that money as a fundraiser for their junior curling program.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
And also great because then when you're out there, because there really isn't any place to eat nearby.
That's right.
So that's great that you can bring the kids out. There's a show going on. There's art going on. There's shopping going on. There's wandering. So you can actually come out there and then grab a bite as well.
Yeah, and there's some vendors there. Hogan's Homestead's going to be selling maple syrup products. And there's a woman, she calls herself Baking by Henry's Daughter. So if you want to have dessert after you visit the barbecue, so she's going to have baking and things like that too.
Now, there have been this is a small town in a lot of ways, and so word gets out that things are happening. I'd heard that Susan Richards had sold New North. I'm like, Susan sold it. Susan's the manager. Yeah. But a lot of people think that you're the owner of New North because you basically live there. You're the face of New North. I am. But you're the manager. So it did change ownership.
Yes, we have a new
owner. And there are some things going on, but there's a separate company doing some stuff. You want to talk about that a little bit and just set the record straight?
Yes, the new owner has bought the property, but the garden center is as is. It is the separate business.
Business as usual.
Business as usual. All the production houses where we grow flowers and herbs and vegetables are full of flowers, herbs, and vegetables. John will eventually build a separate facility on the back of the property to grow medicinal marijuana, but right now we're not growing any marijuana in our greenhouses. We're not selling marijuana. No. Nothing like that's happening.
It's New North greenhouses as always, but better than ever.
That's right.
Because you've got a new website too.
Yes, we have a new website up. Yep, so that's
lots
nice.
of great stuff happening. Now, let's talk a little bit about this time of the year as far as our gardens and our yards go.
Sure.
What should we be doing now, Susan?
Well, certainly staying off your property. Don't get out in the garden or the lawn if it's too soaking wet because, of course, it's a late spring. There's lots of snow.
You don't want to trample stuff.
That's right. You don't want to compact the soil too much.
Okay.
But as the snow's melting, I know at my property I'm seeing damage, and everybody's going to see it because the snow is so heavy. I've got broken branches that need to be cleaned up.
Flattened shrubs.
Yeah, as soon as you can get into the area, prune off dead or broken branches. Try to shape things up a little bit.
Shaping can be done on once the yard is dry enough and you can get into your gardens. This is the time of year to be pruning your trees and shrubs.
That's right.
Obviously not lilacs because the buds that are on there are for this year.
That's right. You don't want to cut off the flower buds. Not the maples because the sap's running. Yeah, this is maple syrup time.
It is, right. So you don't want to be pruning your tree.
No, you prune maples after the new growth is fully out because by then the sap stopped running and that's the time if you've got, but of course dead and broken can be pruned anytime.
Okay.
You don't have to wait for that.
Shrubs, wrapping and unwrapping. Are you talking about unwrapping shrubs this time?
That's right. I've been getting some calls when to unwrap and hopefully everybody's unwrapped their shrubs by now. But if you haven't, pick an overcast day like today is a perfect day to unwrap your shrubs because you want to do it before the weather gets too warm and we've had some real warm days.
You said that it almost acts like a blanket. It keeps the heat in,
that's
so
right.
The tree could be damaged.
Over hot.
Over hot.
And then you don't want to unwrap on a sunny day because you might get a bit of sun scald. So the plants have been wrapped all winter and they've been wrapped, if you've left it on already, they're wrapped in the spring. So you want to be able to unwrap on a day that's cool and overcast so that you don't get sun damage.
There's so much we can learn from you, and you're going to be out there starting a week from Saturday.
That's right.
Again, the date was April the
27th.
27th on the Saturday.
Yeah.
And the website, does the website have information too,
it does.
Susan? Okay.
Yeah, there's information on the website.
Nice to see you again.
Thanks very much.
Happy spring.
Yes.
And it is Hello Spring at New North Greenhouses. Our thanks to Susan Richards for being here again. We'll see you later on as the spring progresses so you can give us more tips and let us know what we should be doing next.
Okay.
And what we're doing next is saying goodbye with Luann, so stay tuned for that right after this.
When you support the Restore, it helps Habitat for Humanity build affordable housing for families. How does this work? New and gently used goods are donated to the Restore. The sale of these goods generate funds for building homes. For every $1 spent at the Restore, there is a $4 return on investment within our community. For example, Habitat homeowners have better educational outlook, increased employment stability, improved health, and reduction in the use of social services. Every donation and every dollar we receive through the Restore helps build sustainable housing for future homeowners. Everyone needs a foundation to build a future. To find out more and how you can help, drop by the Restore at 32 White Oak Drive or go to habitatsioux.ca.
As a nation, Canada has participated in all of the major world conflicts. In the Sioux area alone, over 10,000 men and women have enlisted in the Canadian Armed Forces. The Veterans Commemorative Monument aims to cement the legacy of the Canadian Armed Forces in stone. It will highlight the bravery, strength, courage, and sacrifice of our servicemen and women. In times of need, they volunteered to serve us. Now it is our time to thank and recognize their sacrifice. You can help honor our men and women of service by donating today to help construct this special, one-of-a-kind monument. Visit thosewhoserve.ca to find out how to donate and more.
Holy Thursday, Batman, the show is over.
You scared me. I was having a nap. Could you keep it down over there?
Here comes Peter Cottontail up and down the bunny trail. Are you going to go to the mall this weekend and see the Easter Bunny?
Absolutely not. I'm going to Espanola.
Hey, have a safe trip.
You too.
Say hi to Eunice from me.
I will, absolutely. You have a happy Easter. We're going to have a show of best ofs for you tomorrow morning, so tune in. Friday, we're still mornings with Luann and Tim.
What do you wish for? A nice life? Nice things? Or do you wish for something more? A sense of purpose? Do you wish to discover a cure? To write code that cracks an unsolvable question? To further our exploration into space? Or to invent something that changes everything right here on Earth? Well, if that's your wish, make yourself ready. Because when you look back, you'll see that you didn't just make wishes, you realized them.
In the beginning, there was nature, the oceans, the forests, the mountains, and so history was passed on, and memories took shape, defining us, uniting us, creating a legacy that's ours to preserve, and ours to celebrate.
Beauty amazing, got a kiss from the sun, and that thing will be blazing. I'm dreaming, dream catches, catching on my field, catches forest run, running the river to the water, relax and jump, jumping to the beat, birds flying to the creek, part of the plan, dirt on my feet, feeling the breeze, feeling that beat it, I beat it, a beast, feeling that peace, feeling that ease, hold up, carry the fighting, the feeling I need.
A message from the Government of Canada.